Well, council members, legislators, school officials, county officials here tonight, members of our various committees, city staff, Riverton residents, I can say with confidence that 2022 was one of the most consequential years in Riverton's 158-year history. We have much to be thankful for, and we have much to be optimistic about. And it's really an honor for me to be here tonight and standing in front of you as your mayor to report on the state of this great city. It can be easy, I know, to be discouraged about the direction of government. Nationally, we see many examples of dysfunction in government and also in the political discourse. But at the local level, the government that's closest to the people, this is not the case. We have proven in Riverton that we can work together, can find innovative solutions to our problems, and we can keep costs in check for our residents. Unfortunately, local government doesn't really produce the flashy headlines and the public conflicts that other levels of government do, so you don't often hear much about our success. But we want to detail it here tonight. At the beginning of 2022, our City Council established 4 strategic themes that are really the direction for our city in the next 4 years. These include economic development, sustainability, connectivity and infrastructure, and a sense of community. And I want to report now on the progress that we've made in this last year. First off, 2022 was a significant year for Riverton in terms of economic and housing development. The Costco wholesale opened in May, a 160,000 square foot facility. Mountain View Village Phase 2 opened to the public and added hundreds of thousands of square feet of commercial, retail, and office space. Cinemark opened a 14-screen luxury theater. We have 91 new commercial businesses that opened in Riverton. And we had 306 housing units that were added last year, and about 1,700 that are either in construction now or will be completed within the next 2 years. So this robust economic development effort has resulted in record sales tax revenue. We had $11.2 million last fiscal year in sales tax revenue. That was up 13% from the prior year and a more than doubling in the last 10 years, from about $4.5 million up to that 11.2. So looking to the future in economic development, we're going to see continued efforts in the Western Commercial District. We'll see additions to retail, to office, flex warehouse, and other commercial development. And the city has also established 2 CRAs, or community reinvestment areas, that are close to where we are now, as we work towards the goal of enhancing this area of the city as well. We're actively discussing redevelopment efforts with prospective developers in this area, and also in and around the Riverbend Golf Course with Salt Lake County. Second, in 2022, we made considerable progress in the area of sustainability. Establishing sustainable water sources and ensuring proper stewardship of city facilities is a real key role in local government. And here are a few of our accomplishments last year. The city secured $3 million from Salt Lake County through their federally appropriated America Rescue Plan dollars. And with that money, we are creating, or we're in the process of putting a reverse osmosis plant on our green well, which is here near the Jordan River. And this innovative project is really a win for the city, it's a win for the county, it's a win for the state. It'll produce over 650 million gallons of water each year. And through this strategic partnership, Salt Lake County is poised to save over $100,000 a year in watering costs on the Riverbend Golf Course. The city expects this project to be completed this June and to save the city over $400,000 a year in savings in water purchases. We also paid off last year $4.5 million in debt, which brings our per capita debt to $803. And this is the lowest it has been in Riverton since 2002. We secured almost $9 million from the state to help us complete the installation of secondary water meters on the 2/3 of the city that have yet to have these water meters put on. And this saved us $12 million. We had a loan for $12 million that we were then able to give back because of this new state funding. Had we went through with that loan, that would have surely resulted in an increase in fees in secondary water, but we are not now faced with that. The city was awarded $1.2 million from Salt Lake County to renovate the Sandra N. Lloyd Community Center, and we're really looking forward to that. Speaking of financial sustainability, our residents continue to see substantial property tax savings by our move from the Salt Lake Valley Law Enforcement Service area to our own taxing district, the Riverton Law Enforcement Service area. To date, since 2018, we have saved over $10 million in property taxes, with over $4 million saved just last year. And residents are now seeing savings in their property taxes with the move to the Riverton Fire Service area, about $270,000 in savings just last year. In addition to that over $10 million in savings in property taxes, residents have experienced just a $2.55 net increase in their utility fees in the last 10 years. And tonight, I'm here to report that in light of all the innovation that has occurred in your city government and looking thoroughly through our 5-year plan, I see no reason to raise utility fees for the next 5 years. And this is a very enviable position to be in. Believe me, I've talked to many other cities, and there were several that went through Truth in Taxation and had to raise taxes last year. It's also remarkable if you consider the inflationary environment that we've been in the last year or so. Our third strategic theme of connectivity and infrastructure continues to be prioritized. We had the Bangor Highway and 126 South freeway-style interchange that was completed last year. Google Fiber began installation of their network in Riverton, and we expect almost all Riverton residents to have access to this additional high-speed broadband option by the end of this year. And UDOT will begin freeway-style interchanges at Bangor and 134 South and 27th West. And these interchanges will greatly improve traffic flow throughout the city. We are incredibly grateful, and I want to recognize right now our state legislators for getting this funding in place to be able to pay for these interchanges. The city has received $2 million in funding from Salt Lake County for improvements to the Welby Canal Trail, the Welby-Jacob Canal on the west side of our city, between 126 and 134th. And this can also include a pedestrian bridge over 134th. We're also utilizing federal funds to connect city-owned facilities with a fiber optic broadband infrastructure. And this infrastructure can not only save the city $50,000 a year, but it's an opportunity for a future public-private partnership that can pave the way to offer residents yet another broadband option. Looking ahead, we're eagerly awaiting the development of 2 additional parks on the west side of our city in the areas that are being developed by Edge Homes and by Suburban Land Reserve. The addition and improvement of city trails is in our sights, and we will continue to prioritize maintaining our strong infrastructure. Finally, our fourth theme, sense of community. It's really of utmost importance to me, and I know to our city council. You know, we constantly hear, and we heard this in the survey that we did about a year ago, that what separates Riverton from other cities is our strong sense of community. And regardless of where a Riverton resident lives, we want them to feel a part of this community. So here's what we accomplished in 2022. We installed 4 major and 3 minor monument signs at the entrance of our city. We also installed 61 signs to mark our city boundary, that can be seen as residents and visitors enter our community. We installed wayfinding signage near this area, the town center, that marks important facilities and amenities. And all these signs have common elements to tie our community together, regardless of what part of our city someone finds themselves. Thomas Jefferson once said, "Government is the strongest of which every man feels a part." Along those lines, one of our main priorities under our sense of community theme is to actively engage and inform residents to ensure that they feel a part of our community. And we continue to have impact in this area. We had over 50,000 people, 50,000 event engagements in our city last year. We had over 3 million digital content views across our website and our social media platforms, email platform, and that is more than we have ever had. And our resident volunteer committees, so many of you are here tonight that participate in these great resident volunteer committees, are fully appointed, and they continue to provide valuable advice to our governing body. You know, I want to be able to recognize our Director of Communications tonight, Casey Saxton, in all of his work to help with this particular theme, in engaging and informing residents. Casey was my very first hire as mayor back in January of 2018, so we're about to celebrate his 5th year anniversary with the city. And we couldn't have done this without the work that Casey has put in, both him and his department. Thank you, Casey. So what all of this together means, all the work that we've been able to do this last year, is that Riverton City is really better positioned than perhaps we've ever been to address the challenges that we face and to seek out opportunities that are ahead of us. Our city is managed well financially. We're both innovative and conservative in our approach to local government. And as a result, we have literally saved our residents over $10 million in just the last few years. I'd like to now recognize many that are here tonight that have contributed to the success and the prosperity of our city. And so, if you are here, when I call your name, if you'd please stand to be recognized. And I want to start first and foremost with our city council. We have city council members Andy Perucci, Troy McDougall, Tish Baroker, and Tawny McKay and Claude Wells. Thank you very much. Thank you to also, I want to put a plug in for your spouses and your families, because I know, this includes my wife Alicia, we could not do what we do without them. So your families and your spouses. Could everyone please join me in congratulating our city council members for all they do. I'd like to also recognize our state legislators that are here with us tonight and all the work that they do on behalf of our city. We have Senator Dan McKay here, Representative Candace Perucci, Representative Mark Strong, Representative Jay Cobb, and Representative Susan Pulsifer. So please join me in thanking all of these individuals. They're usually not that shy. They would stand normally. Thank you. Appreciate you. I'm grateful also for the support and our partnership with Salt Lake County. With Mayor Jenny Wilson, also with Sheriff Rivera, who's here. Thank you. Also to the entire county council, and in particular, Councilmember Sheldon Stewart, Dave Alvord, and Lori Stringham that is here tonight. Can everyone please join me in congratulating and thanking Ken. I want to recognize members that are here of the Jordan School District for your partnership as well. Board members Tracy Miller, Daryl Robinson, and Brian Barnett, and our superintendent, Anthony Godfrey, that I saw here tonight, and Associate Superintendent Mike Anderson, as well as local school principals, and I know two of which are here tonight, Rochelle Waite and Donna Hunter. Thank you so much. Thank you. And now I want to invite anybody who is on, any member of our Riverton City Planning Commission or our city committees or volunteer committees, and including our youth council. If you are here tonight, would you please stand and be recognized? These individuals give of their time and they volunteer. They do so much and put in so many hours. So thank you. Thank you. And last but not least, I'd like to invite our Riverton City staff that's here to stand and be recognized. You know, these are the individuals that put into practice and implement all of the strategies and the budgeting decisions, everything that the City Council creates. So, City staff, thank you very much for all that you do. In Riverton, our local government holds true to the principles of limited government and fiscal responsibility. This is evidenced most readily by our city government being smaller than any of our neighboring cities. You can see that as a result of the number of employees per 1,000 residents. And that's one of the data points that's on the card that's in your in the program. In Riverton, our citizens hold the principles of personal responsibility and individual liberty in high regard. And the principles of our government, combined with the principles of our people, are the real foundation of our community. It's the foundation of our community's strength. Because of this foundational strength, Riverton will continue to be a city of opportunity and prosperity. May God continue to bless this great city, our state, and nation. Thank you.